Here we go. Let's take a trip around the shop. We will make sure that we are wearing safety glasses when we start using the tools and equipment. It is a state law by OSHA that we are required to wear safety glasses when we're using tools and equipment in our classroom. Some of your parents may have to abide by these same rules if they have a job that requires them to use some type of equipment in their job. Here is our sink and our cleanup area. We also have our fast orange here for any type of grease or any type of cleanup here. We have actually 5 drill presses in a row here. We have 3 benchtop models. We have 1 large drill press that will be placed into this area. We have 1 small drill press we probably won't use. And then we have a mortise and tenon joining jet machine here that's used for making joints for legs and other things. In our corner here, we have our cleanup area, or our area where we store some of our brooms and cleanup. In the corner, we have our compound miter saw. Compound because it allows us to create a bunch of angles, and also it will actually remove out and allow us to cut larger items. We have our bar clamp wall here and our glue up station here. We have a lot of things going on right now in our classroom. We have our joiner here. Our joiner provides us or allows us to join or cut one edge of a board square or flat, which allows us to cut it using the table saw. We have a small CNC machine here, so computer numeric controlled machine. This is our thickness planer. Again, allows us to regulate the thickness of the board, so this way, so it allows us to thin it down there. I'll take a trip back around by our table saw, probably the most dangerous, but also the most important piece of equipment in our shop. Almost everything that we do will cross over top of this blade. The blade on the table saw runs backwards or towards the user. So if I'm back here towards me, this is the fence. The fence runs parallel with the blade. And then we have our miter gauge here. We never, ever use the miter gauge and the fence at the same time. This will really be the only tool that you will not directly use in our shop. We do have a couple new tools. This is one of them. This is our disc belt combo sander. This is going to be great for us to use for rounding off some of our stool projects, our legs on their stool projects. This is another larger scale disc sander. One major thing to remember here, we always use the disc sander on the down side. So if you look here, so it's pointed down, we only will sand from the center over. We'll talk more about that. This is another type of belt sander, and then another one here, really small. We probably won't use those a whole lot. Here's our lathe. Again, we only have one of these. We won't use this a lot in our classroom. This is our dust collection system. As you can see, it connects to several of the machines, allows us to remove dust and material away from the equipment while we're using it. This is our air compressor. We're going to use a couple air-controlled tools. Here we have our brad nailers and staplers on the wall. This is our router table here. This is a new machine that we're going to be using. Again, with this particular tool, we only go in this direction from right to left. So this particular tool is our router table. This is our bandsaw. Real quick about the bandsaw. The bandsaw, the teeth are always pointed down. This is the table, when we'll talk more about that. I'm really excited about this tool. This is our brand new jet bandsaw, which is really, really nice. Has a really large fence. Again, a fence allows us to keep material back. It's also parallel with the blade. And again, if you look over here, the teeth are pointed down again, just like we said previously. This is our drum sander. This here is used for us to sand inside something or inside a hole or a groove or a notch. So that's that. Here we have another chop saw. This is our new chop saw. We're going to use this. It's a little lower and it's a little simpler. It's also called a miter saw. I like it called the chop saw because it really does one motion, and that's chopping straight down. And then we have another, this here just simply allows us to hold the material up while we're cutting here. We have several of our bench vices, which we've talked a little bit about already in our classroom. We have several of those. There's our anvil. We have our storage areas. We have a grinding wheel here. We also have grinding wheels on the wall with face protection. We have our large scissors or cutters here, and we have our saws here on the wall, our hacksaws. We have our area where we've been using some of our tools already. We have the shop vac and the special trash can for flammable material. And then we're going to get to some of the important areas in our classroom. This is also another type of router table. We'll see, we may use that for another application. We have our pretty wide variety of wire, battery operated equipment, which is really awesome to have in our classroom. We have several of those. We have several new random orbital battery operated sanders, along with our drills and impacts. We have 3 belt sanders down here, along with some of our corded drills, along with our routers here, 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 and here. And then we have a couple, we have a Sawzall and a grinder here that's also cordless. And then several of our corded and battery operated palm sanders. In our cabinet here, there are some things that are labeled: our channel locks and pliers and needle nose pliers, along with our Phillips and flathead screwdrivers. On the door, we have some of our chisels, our mallets and hammers, along with our dead blow hammers here, and our tape measures on the wall, along with our squares and scratch awls and center punches, and our utility knives up there. That'll be one of the things that we never want to use unless we have went over those rules. This is one of the worst accidents I've ever had in our shop class, or not our shop class here, but a shop class as a teacher is with a box cutter. So I always worry about those a little bit and how we use them. Sometimes we're very careless in how we operate those. So as we walk around here, we have another area where we have a ton of clamps that we're going to use. There's several different activities that we're going to use where we're going to need those for different things. We're going to encourage you to wear an apron for safety and protection of your clothes. Gives us another layer of protection while we're using things. Here is a C-clamp. We use these for clamping material down to the table. We'll walk back to our plastics area just really quick, just to touch on a few things that we have back here. We have a small furnace for our foundry. We're going to maybe use that. We have our rotational molder, along with a couple of ovens that we're going to use for our plastisol area, which we'll talk about as we continue in our classroom. We have an injection molder back here. We have 2 of those that we may have an opportunity to use. We have a press, and we have, this is a heating element used for bending plastic, along with our vacuum forming machine here, where we actually take material, melt sheets of plastic, and then pull the mold up into the melted plastic, and then we suck the air out of it and pull it down over top of the mold. So several of those. So that's a real quick invite to our shop. We were going to cover all of these tools in our classroom and talk about the operation and safe operation of all of these that we have in here. So we are excited to get started, and we'll talk more soon.